Hello everyone, welcome back to our data structure lecture. This is our unit 2, searching and sorting. So today's lecture is on insertion sort. Insertion sort is a simple sorting algorithm that works similar to the way you sort playing cards in your hands. Working of insertion sort is, first we assume that first element is in sorted sublist and remaining element is in unsorted sublist. So we divide it, means split array into a sorted and unsorted part. Values from the unsorted part are picked and placed at the correct position in the sorted part. Best case complexity of the insertion sort is big O n, and average and worst case complexity is big O n square. Example of insertion sort. In this example, our size of array is 6. So here we contain 6 elements. In insertion sort, if n is size of array, then n minus 1 is passes. So here size of array is 6, then our passes is 5. So start from first. In original list, we divide this list in two parts, that is sorted sublist and unsorted sublist. So here we assume that our first position element is in sorted sublist. So here 5 is in sorted sublist and remaining element is in unsorted sublist. So now we pick element from unsorted sublist. So we pick first position element from unsorted sublist, that is 2, and we compare with sorted sublist. So we compare 2 and 5. So 2 is less than 5. So 2 is placed in first position and 5 is placed in second position. Now in after pass 1, 2 and 5 is in sorted sublist and remaining element is in unsorted sublist. So here from unsorted sublist we pick first position element, that is 4. So we compare 4 with 5 and 2. So 4 is less than 5. So we placed 4 in between 2 and 5. Now in after pass 2, 2, 4, 5 is in sorted sublist and remaining element is in unsorted sublist. Now repeat this process and picked first position element, that is 6. So 6 is now compared with 5, 4 and 2. So 6 is greater than 5. Then we place 6 as it is. Now in after pass 3, 2, 4, 5, 6 is in sorted sublist and 1 and 3 is in unsorted sublist. Now select first position element, that is 1. So we compare this element with sorted sublist elements. So we first compare 1 with 6. We go right to left side. So we compare with first 6. So 1 is less than 6 and we compare with 5. So 1 is less than 5. Then we compare with next element, that is 1 is less than 4. Now we compare with next element, 1 is less than 2. Now 1 is placed in first position. Now in after pass 4, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 is sorted sublist and 3 is in unsorted sublist. Now we repeat this process and find out appropriate position for this element. So appropriate position for 3 is in third position. So we compare 3 with 6, 5 and 4 and placed is in third position. Now in after pass 5 we got our sorted array. So this is our Example for insertion sort. Algorithm for insertion sort. First step is begin. Second step is declaration variable I, j and temp. So we declare here 3 variables. Third step is for I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. Means here for loop is used. That is for I is equal to 1, I less than n and I plus plus. So here I is point to the first location. So see here in this example our n is equal to 5, means here array contain 5 elements, the size of array is 5. So here we sorted these 5 elements in ascending order. Now step 4 is temp is equal to a of I. So here value of I is 1, means a of 1. So here a of 1 is 3. So we transfer this 3 to the temp. So now value of temp is 3. Now this a of 1 is empty. So we move to the next step, that is j is equal to I minus 1. So now value of I is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. That's why j is point to the 0th position. Here a is name of array. So a of 0 is j. Okay, so here in this example I is point to the first location, j is point to the 0th location, and we transfer our value of a of 1 to the temp variable. So now 3 is transferred to the temp variable and here a of 1 is now empty. So next step is while loop, while j is greater than equal to 0. So here value of j is I minus 1. So here 1 minus 1 is 0. So j is equal to 0. So here value of j is 0. So 0 greater than equal to 0. This condition is true. Now check second condition, that is a of j is greater than 10. So here a of j means a of 0 is 7 and temp is 3. Okay. So 7 is greater than 3. This condition is also true. So we enter 2 in this statement. The statement is a of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. So now value of j is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So a of 1 is equal to a of j. So here a of j means a of 0. So value of 7 is transferred to the value of a of 1, means 7 is transferred to the first index. Now 0th index is empty. So here next statement is j is equal to j minus 1, means j decremented by 1 but value of j is 0. So 0 minus 1 is minus 1. So value of j is minus 1. So now here we check this to the condition, that is j is greater than equal to 0 but value of j is minus 1. So minus 1 greater than equal to 0, this condition is false, and here while loop is end and we go to directly to the step 7. So here in step 7 a of j plus 1 is equal to temp. So here value of j is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is 0. So a of 0 is equal to 10. So we transfer this value 3 to the 0th location. So 3 is transferred to the 0th location. So in after pass 1, 3 is present in 0th location and 7 is present in first location. Okay. So repeat this process, and step 3 is I is incremented by 1. Now I is 1 plus 1 is 2. So I now point to the second location. Okay. Now temp is equal to a of I. That's why we store 4 into the temp. So here second location is empty. Now j is equal to I minus 1, means here value of I is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So now j is point to the first location. So here j is point to the first location and value 4 is stored in temp. Okay. repeat this process. In this while loop, we check j is greater than equal to 0. So j is 1. So 1 greater than equal to 0. This condition is true. And second condition is a of j is greater than temp. So here a of j. So a of j is 7 and temp is 4. So 7 greater than temp. This condition is also true. So this both conditions are true. So we enter in this statement. So statement is a of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. So here value of j is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So now value of a of j is transferred to the second location. So here value of a of j is 7 is transferred to the second location. So here in after pass 2, our 7 is transferred to the second location. Okay. But now first location is empty. So here j is decremented by 1. So here value of j is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Now value of j is 0. So we check in this while loop 0 is greater than equal to 0. This condition is true. But here we check a of j is greater than temp. So here a of j. Now value of j is 0. So a of j is now 3. So 3 is greater than temp is 4. 3 is greater than 4. This condition is false. So we here exit this while loop and we directly enter to the step 7. So in step 7, value of j is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So a of 1 is temp. So we transfer this temp means 4 to the first location. So okay, now clear this. In after pass 2, our 3 is present in 0th location, 4 present to the 1 location means first location, and 7 is present to the second location. So we repeat this process and we find out the sorted element using insertion sort. For insertion sort, here we declare first array, that is name of array is A, 100 is size. Then declare 4 variable, that is I, j, temp and n. Next is print enter the size of the list. Then scanf %d address of n. So here we enter size of n, means size of array. So here if we enter n is equal to 5, means we create array size is 5. Next printf enter %d integer values comma n. So here if n is equal to 5, then output is enter 5 integer values. Next for loop I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Then scanf %d address a of I. Here I start from 0 to I less than n, means we enter values from 0 to n minus 1 in array. So we enter here 5 values, means 5 elements in the array. Next is insertion sort logic. In this logic, we already studied in algorithm. So all of you know about this logic of insertion sort. So see here, first is for loop I is equal to 1, I less than n and I plus plus. So here value of I is 1, means I point to the first location. Next is temp is equal to a of I. So here value of I is 1. So we transfer first index value to the temp. Next is equal to j is equal to I minus 1. So here value of I is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So value of j is 0. Now j is point to the 0th location and temp value stored in temp in first location. So we compare these two in while loop. First we check if j is greater than equal to 0. So value of j is 0. So 0 is greater than equal to 0. This condition is true. Now we will check a of j is greater than 10. If a of j is greater than value of 10, then we enter in this to statement. If this condition is false, then directly we go to this statement. So here, if our value is greater than 10, then we enter this statement. The statement is a of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. So here value of j is 0 and 0 plus 1 is 1. So we transfer value of a of j to the j plus 1. Means we transfer 0th index value to the first indexed value. Now first 0th index is empty. So we decrement j from 1. So j is equal to j minus 1 means value of j is 0. So 0 minus 1 is minus 1. So value of j now minus 1. So we check minus 1 is greater than equal to 0. This condition is false. So we directly go to this step, that is aj plus 1 is equal to 10. So now value of j is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is 0. So we transfer value of 10 to the 0th location. So using this logic, we exchange these two values, 0th position and first position. Okay. Now we repeat this process and incremented I from 1, and we repeat all this process till I less than n. Means here our element is 5, then our passes is 4. Now to print this sorted array, we use this logic, that is printf list after sorting is. We use for loop for printing array 0 to n minus 1. So I is equal to 0, I less than n and I plus plus. And for print we use printf %d and a of I. Using a of I, we print array from I start from 0 to n minus 1. So here we complete our program. All of you practice this program using this logic, and you enter any numbers to in this logic and execute the program. Output of the insertion sort. So first we use that printf statement. So here statement is enter the size of the list. So we enter 5, means we enter 5 integers. So enter 5 integers values. So we enter 63, 45, 76, 98 and 80. Now list after sorting is, using insertion sort we got this sorting array, means sorting array in ascending order, that is 45, 63, 76, 80 and 98. I hope logic of insertion sort is clear now, and all of you keep practicing this example of insertion sort and program for insertion sort. Thank you.